Have you ever wondered who succeeded the throne of the Nanda dynasty after the reign of Mahapadmananda? The answer is Dhana Nanda. After the reign of the iconic Mahapadmananda, the baton of leadership passed to his son Dhana Nanda. His ascension to the throne marked a new chapter in the history of the Nanda dynasty. Under Dhana Nanda's rule, the Nanda Empire grew in strength, its military prowess becoming a force to be reckoned with. The empire's economic prosperity also flourished, as Dhana Nanda ensured a vibrant and thriving economy that became the envy of many. The Nanda Empire, under Dhana Nanda's leadership, witnessed an era of power and prosperity. Its military might was unparalleled, and its economic success was unprecedented. Yet, Dhana Nanda's rule was not without its flaws. His arrogance and despotic nature often overshadowed his achievements. Despite having a strong empire at his disposal, his rule was characterized by autocracy and high-handedness. Although Dhana Nanda had a strong empire, his rule was marred by his arrogance and despotic nature. But did you know, Dhana Nanda's arrogance led to a significant event that would later contribute to his downfall? In the court of Magadha, there was a well-respected scholar named Chanakya. Known for his wisdom and sharp intellect, he was highly revered by many. However, Dhana Nanda, in his arrogance, chose to insult Chanakya in front of the entire court. This public humiliation stung Chanakya deeply, but he was no ordinary man to be belittled. He, in turn, took a vow of revenge against Dhana Nanda and his dynasty. This event sparked a chain of events that would change the course of history. Chanakya's vow was not just about personal vengeance, it was about justice, about challenging the arrogance of a king who had lost touch with his people. It was about setting things right. And so, it began. The journey towards the end of the Nanda Dynasty. Chanakya's vow of revenge set the stage for the emergence of a new power in the Indian subcontinent. So how did Dhana Nanda's rule come to an end? Enter Chandragupta Maurya, a young and ambitious protege of Chanakya, the astute and cunning strategist. Chanakya, still nursing his grudge against Dhana Nanda, saw in Chandragupta a means to his end. He meticulously groomed and trained Chandragupta, not just in the art of warfare, but also in statecraft, leadership, and governance. But they knew that the mighty Nanda Empire could not be toppled by sheer force alone. So they sought allies. They formed strategic alliances with local rulers and distant kings, promising them a share in the spoils of the war. They gathered a formidable army ready to wage a war that would change the course of history. And then the moment of reckoning arrived. The battle lines were drawn, the warriors were ready, and the drums of war started beating. Finally, the battle ensued, and it marked the end of Dhana Nanda's reign and the Nanda dynasty. What happened in the battle that led to the end of an era? That's a question that rings in the annals of history. The answer lies in the war between Chandragupta Maurya and Dhana Nanda, a conflict that signaled the end of the Nanda dynasty. Chandragupta Maurya, under the guidance of his mentor Chanakya, rose against the Nanda dynasty. This was not just a battle for the throne, but a clash of ideologies and a quest for justice. Chanakya, who had been insulted by Dhana Nanda, saw in Chandragupta a chance to topple the Nanda rule. The war was fierce and brutal, as wars often are. Dhana Nanda, despite his wealth and power, could not withstand the strategic brilliance of Chanakya and the youthful vigor of Chandragupta. After a series of battles, the inevitable happened. Dhana Nanda was defeated. And with that defeat, the Nanda dynasty came to an end. Now, what became of Dhana Nanda, the last Nanda ruler? Historical records suggest that he was killed in the aftermath of the war, thus marking a decisive end to his reign. But his story didn't end there. His name lived on as a symbol of a golden era that was rich in wealth and prosperity, but also rife with arrogance and injustice. The end of the Nanda dynasty marked the beginning of a new era, the Mauryan Empire, with Chandragupta Maurya as its first emperor. Despite the prosperity of Dhana Nanda's rule, it is remembered more for its end than for its achievements. The story of Dhana Nanda and the Nanda Dynasty serves as a stark reminder that power and wealth without wisdom and justice can lead to downfall. It's a tale of how arrogance can blind one to the changing winds of time and how the thirst for revenge can ignite a revolution. The end of the Nanda dynasty marked the beginning of the Mauryan Empire, with Chandragupta Maurya as its first emperor. Dhana Nanda's rule, although prosperous, is remembered more for its end than for its achievements. That's the story of Dhana Nanda and the end of the Nanda dynasty, a tale of power, arrogance, and the eventual fall.
हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और साथ ही बेल आइकन दबाएं, जिससे समय पर नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिलती रहे। आपका एक लाइक हमें प्रोत्साहित करता है जिससे कि हम नई वीडियो बनाएं। थैंक्स फॉर योर सपोर्ट।